Yes.
Because it's about timing, and it's about execution, and it's about endurance too, actually. You know, and it's about alignment. Because when you can feel something's off a little bit, it makes it much easier to discern when it's on. That's a gift.
Yeah. And not I don't find myself when it's on saying like, oh yeah, cool, it's on. There we go.
Yeah. You know, that's a whole thing. I'm hearing wisdom.
Thank you, Craig.
And trust. Wow. Yeah, wow. Oh my.
I'd like to read a little thing for all of us. What the world throws at you is a consequence of the times in which we live, but the nature and scope of how we experience our life is entirely our making. We cannot always determine what the world throws at us, but what we make of it is 100% ours. This is the true meaning of karma, to take charge of your life. By making your karma a more conscious process, you become the master of your own destiny. Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you.
So glad you're here this morning, Allison.
Me
Mhm.
too.
Me too.
Me three.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
The best present was to hear Pascal was here. That baby. I've been so happy about that baby.
yeah, it's
Me too.
Hi, Nikki.
Hey, Alison. Morning.
and Nikki.
Morning, Pascal.
Mhm.
Morning, Craig, Jesse.
Oh, hi, Nikki.
Well, hi there, Craig. Fancy seeing you again.
Yeah, it is fancy.
You too, fancy. Fancy, fancy.
I got a story to tell you guys
Hmm.
that happened like during my my time off, I guess. But some of you knew that I was looking for a car, and so I was looking for it, and then found the one I want. Like I kind of like, you know, I want this color, I wanted manual, I want about this year, and I couldn't believe that like I found it. I was just like, that's almost impossible. So anyway, so I go see it, and well, no, like let's backtrack a little. The guy's asking $27,000. I said to him, I said, like, what is your best price you would let it go? And he goes down to 23. And I'm like, it's got to have something wrong with the car. So I'm asking him, I'd be like, has it been an accident? Because like this type of car goes for about 31, 33,000. Anyway, so he says, yeah, it's been in a little accident and stuff. So he sent me pictures and stuff. So I was like, anyway, like I'd like to go see it. So I go see it, and then like I see that it's been repaired, but like, you know, like the paint is chipping off on the front bumper and then the hood and stuff. But anyway, so I'm like, okay, I can repaint that, you know, like that's not a huge deal, but I just want to make sure like the car is straight and stuff. So I call my mechanic. The guy's willing. He's like, yeah, you can take it to your mechanic, no problem. I call my mechanic. I told him the story. He was like, oh, do you have the paper for, because it's a rebuild. So I said, yeah, I got everything, you know. He says, well, if you do have everything, like, I don't think I need to see the car. Like, you know, like they go through like a really extensive inspection. So I was like, okay, yeah, it sounds good. So we kind of make the deal, drop it down just a tiny bit. And then we agreed that he's gonna come and drop it off at my house, because I have no transportation and all that. So he's all fine with that. So, but my intuition kicked in, and I'm like, there's something to it. There's something to it. So I ran like a Carfax to it. And then I found out that the car had been salvaged and bought at the auction and been fixed. And now it's a rebuild status. So call the guy back, and I'm like, you know what? Like, deal's off. Like, you didn't tell me it was salvage and all that. So I'm not interested anymore. So disappointed, but I'm like kind of relieved that like I follow my intuition. So, but for some reason, so like doesn't come drop off the car. For some reason, I just have this car in my mind all the time. It's just nonstop, and I keep looking on like say Kijiji Marketplace, I think, like to see if the car's still there, you know, and it's there, and then like, oh, it disappeared. I'm like, oh, okay, it's sold. So I'm like, okay, off my mind. I'm gonna be looking for something else. 2-3 days later, it's back on, and I'm like, oh my God, like why keep showing up, right? So anyway, so I use my pendulum and then like I'm like, should I buy the car? And then it says no. And I'm like, I go a little further. I'm like, what about if it's $20,000? It says no. $19,000. It says no. $18,000. It says yes. So I'm like, ugh, he's never gonna go for that, right? So I'm like, holy shit, like I don't know if I should ask. So anyway, so I wait 2-3 days, and then apparently like he had other guys came to it, but like it's always been like they came and then like they leave because like it's a standard car, like not a lot of people knows how to drive standard. It's like, so and then like he changed his name there, you know, on Marketplace, because like he's got a name like it's like from Iran or something. So maybe some people are scared off by his name. So now his name is Terry. So I'm like, you know what? The universe says like I can maybe get it for 18,000. Let's give it a shot. So I just offer him like 18,000, and he was like, oh no, I can't go like under like, you know, like 20 is my lowest. I'm like, yeah, fine. Like that's all I have. And you know, if you want it. And then he was like 2 hours later, he said like, if you come today, I'll let it go. And I'm like, okay. But the banks are closed, you know, it's like 6 o'clock, whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, I can come tomorrow. And then, yeah. And, but I'd like to take it for an inspection just to make sure everything is fine. He's like, yeah, no problem. So anyway, so like, so my patience paid off. And yesterday he delivered the car. You know, like he done everything I wanted. Like he dropped it off to the garage, do the inspection. He took it back. So you wait like 2 hours for the inspection to get done. Like everything, like seriously, like everything. I offer him like, oh, I can go and then like do the inspection. Like that's no problem. You know, I'll wait, you know. And he's like, no, it's fine. I'll do it. I'll do it. And then he leaves the inspection and he was supposed to call me back and he doesn't. And I'm like, okay. So I wait. And then I'm like, okay, I'll give him a call. And then I was like, so what's next? Like, because I called the garage and then the garage says like, it's been in really kind of minor accident. Like, I don't know why it's salvaged. It might be like the airbags. I don't know. But he says like, seriously, like the car has been very, very like little damage. So anyway, so came and dropped it off yesterday. I don't have to drop him off. Like it's just been flawless, really. And then now I've got like almost a brand new car for like 18 grand. Like, and these cars goes for like 31. So
That's
like,
fantastic.
it's, yeah,
Well, you just had an awesome intuition adventure,
yeah,
among other things.
Hmm.
yeah.
You know, think about what you learned.
Hmm.
It's like I put everything in practice. It was
Exactly.
you know, like it's good to talk about it, but then like when you put it in practice, it's like
Mhm.
it's phenomenal.
Yeah. And you always learn more when there's challenges and you're unsure.
Yeah, and I was able to read him. That's the thing too.
There you go.
You know, it wasn't
Wow.
like, yeah, it was just like, this guy's desperate.
Mhm.
He wants to get rid of it like so bad, you know? So yeah, and then like, you know, like, and seriously, I would have followed my intuition. If it would have been 19,000, I wouldn't get it. Even though like the inspection was good and everything, like I wasn't going to get it. I was just going to get it if it would be 18,000. And I told myself that, and I stick with it.
Hmm.
And I think yesterday
Congratulations.
why I didn't sleep is because it was all that relief. Because like I spent almost like almost 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks, or like thinking about this, and then like yeah. So patience.
Yes. So good.
Hmm. Ah,
You got, yeah, so good.
And
You know,
allowing
all
the
this makes it
intuition to
so much
lead.
easier next time.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you can
Sorry,
apply that to big life decisions now and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it was weird, eh? Because like he was supposed to drop it off at like 7 the first time, and then around 6, I felt very uncomfortable in the kitchen. I was just like,
Mhm.
there's something going on. I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know what it is, but you know. And really, like, I was kind of scared for no reason, but in the same time, like, I had a reason to back off and be more patient. So I dropped another $3,000, you know, by waiting like a week and a half.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
So, but yeah. Thanks for listening.
You're welcome. It was so good to hear, step by step.
Yeah. Thank you for living through that step by step for all of us. Because all of us gain from what you learned.
it is a demonstration of where we listen and trust that unconscious part and follow through. That is confidence and power. And it's like, because for so long we've ignored it or dismissed it. you know, as Chris says, right? It's like, make sure you take the action, you get the obvious, make sure you follow through, or otherwise you're not in alignment. Or I don't remember what he says, but it's like it's that following through with the unconscious aspect of it. And man, I just loved that story. That is a creator story.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I just got this too. This is funny. Your new son just inspired you. Something fierce. He wants to bring you in. He wants to bring you into his innocence.
Hmm.
So there's some bonding that happened there between you and him through that experience. Ooh, an energetic bond. Oh, wow. That is wow.
Well, Pascal, thank you. You put me back at table.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, that new little genius you gave birth to just gifted you, man.
In many ways, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And I think what's been helping the most, it's been, you know, when he's crying and stuff, it's not like, oh, you know, it's not that. It's really like just my presence and really just talking to him, like,
Mhm.
and like even like when I'm feeding him, like, oh, that's what I'm going to be doing. Oh, I'm changing you. I'm doing this. I'm going to move your leg. I'm going to do this and do that. So he's not like, because you know, like he's so in a sense, it's not even funny. Like you grab him and sometimes like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Right, like
Sensitivity, huge sensitivity.
yeah, and then we didn't realize in the beginning, like it's just like his nervous system is building up, right? So he's like
Mhm.
shaking, you know, just for 2-3 seconds and then shaking again, and you know, it's just like yeah, there's so much to it.
See, he's actually helpless in the physical. He's helpless right now, but he's also in his power.
Right.
His spiritual power is at its peak right now.
Yeah, I already been talking to him, like be like, so are you getting like your last how do I say that, like your last word from the other side, you know, like your
Mhm.
commandment or whatever, right? So you know, just to see, right, like, oh, how did you dream, you know, what did you dream, you know?
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because you can share all that. I mean, that's
Yeah,
that's what I said. Like, you know, there's an energetic thing going on there, and you can tap into that and be inspired by it
yeah.
and empowered by it.
Yeah, I wish I knew now. I wish what I know now, I wish I knew then. How much of a
Yeah.
sponge they are. And It's they're just building patterns. That's what the
They're
nervous
in their
system
power.
does. Mhm.
What we're trying to recover, they already have.
Mhm. Thanks, Pascal. Wonderful.
Yeah.
The miracle of life. Oh, how much how much I can forget that when they turn 14 in our when we're cooking dinner together for the first time. Oh, my patients were on edge and I don't know why. Hmm. He was disappointed it did not turn out like the video
Hmm.
the first time.
Yeah.
Hmm. First of all, I said it helps to have measurements, Troy. No, just add it until it turns brown. Okay. All right. How about we go around today and each of us choose a choice? And we all just acknowledge and sit in it for a moment and then go on to the next one. How's that sound?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, I'll start with, I've got my anchors for them. And so I'll just, I choose to love my life. Thank you.
Well, I choose health and vitality. And it seems like the more I choose it, the more I get challenged. The more like my belief get challenged. I see something that I'm like, huh, that's not what I thought at all. But it brings me to like a deeper knowledge of the human being.
I choose my true nature and purpose.
I choose creating the new. And acknowledge that that's my true nature.
Thank you. My word for today is wholeness. Wholeness in the raindrop. Wholeness of the raindrop.
Mm.
The wholeness of gathering. Each with each of you. Such an honor. Thank you.
My word for the day is possibilities. I choose possibilities. Unlimited possibilities. Thank you.
Mm.
I already share my word of the day, my sharing, but yeah, it's innocence. And Craig helped me to improve that word and the connection with our newborn. So I'll be exploring this even more.
Yeah, my word today is open wide. Open wide.
And this is our truth, our moment of now, our starting position.
Shared space.
Collective. And we just pull back that tension and just release it through the day. Breakthroughs and scatters. Gathers, breakthroughs, scatters. Leading our word with all we intersect, all we do, with what we come across, interact with. And choose. Thank you for that experience this morning. It's good to have the power circle of 4 back. Back together. Acknowledging we never went anywhere. Yeah.
Today, I really feel the power of innocence emanating from your household, Pascal. So thank you for bringing that into our circle with your presence today.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was effortless.
Exactly. But very, very real.
Yes.
And extremely valuable. In fact, I received a suggestion for innocence retreats. Event where all you do is explore innocence. That's it.
That's like the obvious action for the day.
Yeah, that too.
For the next, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Where does innocence want to take me today?
Mm.
I wonder. Yeah.
I wonder. I wonder. I wonder where the day takes me. I wonder where I take the day there.
Sounds like living from joy.
Innocence?
Yeah. Raw, raw joy,
Raw joy. Ooh,
pure.
yeah. Raw joy.
What's come up for me is finding the new in everything.
Mm,
with a joyful heart.
Wide open. Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, I have to share this. This morning, I get to work, first day back to work, and then like so many people like they say congratulations and all that. And then I've got one of the relief foremen, and he's like, "Oh, how's it been?" And I was like, "Actually, pretty good so far." And he's like, "Oh, oh, wait, around 4 or 5 months, they don't like to sleep." And I was like, "Okay, thank you for sharing your experience with me, but it doesn't have to be my experience." Like I feel,
Yeah.
or for me, like I'm just like, we create it. Like I'm a strong believer that we create everything. So, if I keep reading about it, that like at like 4 or 5 months, that like babies have a hard time to sleep and whatnot, yeah, I'll create that, but I choose to have an easy baby that's going to sleep through, and then, so yeah, it's just funny that like even just between each other, we're just kind of like, oh no, it's not, it cannot be that way. It has to be like just like me, that suffer and whatnot. So I'm like, no, it doesn't have to be, like I'm sure like it's not every single baby that like had a hard time, right? So it's
And nobody knows
everybody's
anything.
individual experience, right? So
I just want to encourage you to follow his wisdom.
yeah,
He's got gobs of it.
yeah, absolutely.
In fact, you can learn new patterns from him. A lot of innocence is about resting. In a way that's correct for you. And he already knows what's correct for him. So you can learn from his signals.
Yeah.
That's his gift to you, is to give you a model, to model innocence.
That he chose you.
Yeah.
It's almost like a second chance in life, I feel. That's why children are such a blessing. They're teaching you all the time. Every minute they're teaching you about everything. And it's just, to me now, it's just at awe. And I can just like go with the flow and just really tap in and go, okay, like, enjoying each other's space, because he's 14. So there is a little bit of a puberty going on, and, the whole number, and finding his own likes and dislikes and what he's allowing, and it's just wonderful to enjoy that, to respect that, because to have that experience with him gave me the experience of just enjoying that everything can be possible, because what was impossible for me, I've made it possible for him. And then I can relive it also, because it's a flow. It's a flow of just embracing each other and knowing that, I'm just borrowing him for a while, because soon he's going to fly. And I've prepared myself for that too. So there's no real attachment of to know that he has to do what I ask him and this and that. It's just a matter of making the choices and me being a guide for him. And for me, that gave me real good insight, because no one really teaches you about being a parent. No one. There's no manual, right? And it's not about only if I did know that. Yeah, we could always go back and say only if I did know that. But even this morning, when I came back to realize that there's things that maybe my actions or maybe my reactions or whatever, I can at least say to him in that time of really looking within and saying, what do I need to learn from this? And then I could go back to him and look at him with a conversation, have a conversation with him, not treating him as anything else than what I'm wanting to express to him, or what I was expressing. And now that he even knows, because he's so intuitive, he's so in alignment with me, that it's just organic. It's just organic. It's amazing that his heart is just open, and how he treats his friends, and how he hasn't got a girlfriend. But I even prayed for the girlfriend this week, that it, like, whatever has to, that, we're all like come in alignment with his lifestyle and what he's choosing, and not to be distracted, because he's going to high school. And as I made a announcement that he's actually been selected in one of the best schools, #1 schools in New York. He was chosen. It's a Beacon High School here in New York. And it's absolutely amazing. There's 3,000 children waiting on the waiting list. So this is something where, you know, when you have good intentions, because my intentions for him before he was even born, that firstly, that for me at that time was very important. Not that the education, because you don't need it. We understand that because there's more to what the book teaches you or what school teaches you. We know that it's all about self-love, self-awareness, and consciousness, and being a creator. And they don't teach you that much in school. But as much as we live in this society, you want to give the best, right? You want to give the best. You want to give the best of everything. I want to give him the best nutrition. I want to give him the best home life, home style. You know, I want to give him the best. It's just a natural instinct of me as a mother. I want to give him the best. But what I didn't know, as I have been told, and Craig has confirmed that many times, where we sowed the seeds. And those seeds I sowed with good intentions before I had him. And when I had him, that I would be the best mother to him, the best mother, like really a blessed mother to him. That was my prayer for him. And that the sowing of the seeds here, that I can reap the harvest now of what is, because this is all got to do with his life and his growth, and knowing that when you're always sowing into somebody's life, you're never going to see it immediately, because that's not nature, as you know. We have to sow the seeds, and we've got to also wait. So I've waited for the opportunity for me to now reap the harvest, that I can say thank you, you know. And this is life. I feel now for myself that I choose through my true nature and purpose, that I'm so grateful, because the seeds that you have sown, you have to wait. You have to wait. And when you use, Pascal, when you said patience, and your demonstration of this morning was like, just wow. It was like, what a beautiful experience, but a practice of knowing that we are always producing, and we're always now knowing that we can come into our heart and listen and wait with patience. And this is really a muscle. Yeah, it's a muscle. And I'm now finally just enjoying it. I'm just also experiencing it also. It's that's what they call it, magic. You know, that's quite magical to have these moments of realizing that nothing's in vain, you know, nothing's in vain. It's all coming to pass. And when it does, you can receive it, you know, with grace. So yeah, congrats. I'm very happy for you. So happy for you. So happy for everybody, you know. Beautiful.
Hi all, I keep forgetting about your time change, so I've just come in.
Hey, Tina.
Hi.
Yeah, Pascal
Hi,
is here
Tina.
today. Pascal is here today. He hasn't been here for a few weeks, actually.
Oh,
But he
hello,
just
Pascal.
had his first child, a son, about 2 weeks ago.
Congratulations. Oh,
So we're talking about childhood and parenthood and all that kind of stuff.
how weird, because I changed my Facebook picture yesterday to when I was a little girl. Picture of me when I was a little girl. So there you go. Weirdness.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
So I want to take what Nikki just said, and I want to turn it around completely, and share the realization that the child is the teacher.
Yes.
For me, and you know, I noticed that with all my kids. Actually, they were all extremely obviously extremely gifted when they were first born, and especially my first child, a daughter. She she would initiate things like out of a blue sky. Like she was making her own movies when she was 4 years old, like being on camera and teaching people stuff. It's kind of, yeah, kind of amazing stuff. And so what I would like to say from this point of view is follow the child's lead. You know, allow that child to lead you into innocence, into their experience, and you know, let them drag you by the nose, because it'll amaze you where you go and what you learn.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I agree with that 100%. I just feel that I don't, you know, with raising children, there's so much control and manipulation. Just like Pascal says, people come and make their opinions, and they voice out what they're telling you. And I experienced that too. People came up to me, many constantly telling me, oh, this and that, and oh, and honestly, from my experience, you know, yeah, I had a great pregnancy. I worked out right up to the 8th month, and even my mother said, "Oh, wait." I said, "Yeah, okay." I mean, my mother, I love her, but yeah, you know, comes a time where obviously nature takes its place, and there's things that you can't do, and then you have to receive that and take the rest, as you say. But what I love about my relationship with my son is that I know his heart and he knows mine. And to me, I can respect that, and he respects me, because that's where I'm just saying you don't there's no such thing as doing it the right way or have to do it in a certain way for them to grow. It is just organically who they are in knowing that they're powerful, and they are your teachers.
That's what I mean by letting them.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they already know.
I know what you mean. I know. I 100% know what you mean. And so that's where the satisfaction of just being in this now, in this day, right here, you know, him doing what he has to do in the morning, and he knows that when he leaves here, you know, there's a hug and there's a kiss and there's a knowing, have a good day. And I give him a little roots cheerleading kind of thing going on there. and so, you know, it's just it is just wonderful to just have this extra experience to enjoy life. And this is where I feel, yeah, with everything now, you know, it doesn't have to be also your blood and flesh, you know, it can be with people that you just meet for the very first time, that you can enjoy each other and just learn, but most importantly, know that they're powerful. It's like you said, wide open. It's just a wide open space. You know, you just allow that wide open space when somebody comes, and you just be in that, when you can be in it and be present with it. Wow, you walk away and go, wow, one word, one suggestion, one thing, it just can change everything. It changes everything. Yes, everything's changed. And that's what we're going for. And that's what we also fight against, the change. But when you embrace that change, it's sort of like just, okay, that's what it is. Wow. Wow, that's what it is. So, yeah, it's, yeah.
Oh, they grow so quick, don't they?
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's downright scary.
I can't believe mine's going to be 19 soon. It's crazy where time's
my
gone.
God.
And you're
Yeah.
right. You're all right in what you say. I mean, we can totally learn so much from them as well. I'm just in awe of my daughter. I mean, I like to use the word knob. She's a knob. I'm a knob, but I'm so in awe of her, and I try and tell her as often as I can. We're totally at opposite ends at the moment with the way we view things, but that's okay. You know what I mean? I think she's got to get a grip on that, and she will in her own time. We're bound to see things very differently. But yeah, I can't believe where the time has gone. It was only yesterday when, I'm sure you guys feel the same, when our kids were little babies. You never forget. And it is so important to cherish those times. And I'm with you guys, don't let anyone else tell you. At the end of the day, you just follow your heart, go with what works, what doesn't, trial and error. It's not other people's opinions, it's not other people's ways, it's what feels right for you guys. And if it works, great. Absolutely. I think there's too much of too many people got too many things to say these days about shit they know nothing about, especially parenting. It's only you know what's happening in your household at the end of the day. So yeah, congratulations, Pascal. How lovely. How lovely. It's weird when they leave the coop though. I've been moaning. Well, my fella's got a 25, I think she's 25, 26-year-old married. And but my daughter was with us when I met my fella. She was only a little slip of a girl. And oh my goodness, it was like, oh my God, I can't wait for you to go. Oh my God. And now she's gone. It's like, oh. It's true what people say about, when they get out there in the world, you just want to protect and nurture, and you do. It's so hard as a parent to step back and just let them do their own thing and try and give them the best that you can, like you said, the tools and everything, and just be there when the shit hits the fan. That's basically, the dynamics change when they leave. It's up to them, you know what I mean? And you can only just be there the best you can and just make sure that, you're their glue, and because that's our job when they leave. And there's not really much else you can say or do, really. It's in their hands, But she's an amazing girl. She's got a heart of gold. And our kids are going to be all right because they've got us behind them. And it's not just about our kids either. It's I feel very strongly about other children too. It's they need us right now more than ever. They don't realise it, but they need us. And that comes back to the elders, doesn't it, I guess, and the teachers. It's that, passing on that knowledge, that information, so that they can fight for their freedoms and whatever they believe, or just be true to themselves. And it's weird. You don't have to worry as much when they're little. It's when they get out there. Because at least when they're little, you know where they are. It's crazy how it all shifts, and as a parent, you're constantly learning, aren't you? Because you're having to change with them, really. You never know which one you're going to get when you get up in the morning.
Yeah, that's so true, Gina. Yeah, if you look at our ancestors, what they've gone through, as we just realize what a blessing and abundance we have because of that. And that's also having to know that the blessings that we can also add, pass down to our children. That's the blessings of God. That's the blessings, and they should be blessed. Yeah. And then
they take it all, they don't as well, isn't it? We know in our hearts that you know, that's it. Like you said earlier, we don't have manuals, you know,
No,
and
we don't.
you know, I think sometimes, especially when your child gets older, it's okay to tell them that as well. Hey, you know, I might be a mum, but I really don't know everything, and I don't, you know, we were all doing the best that we can.
Yeah, I
You
think
know,
that's the
if you
best.
just try and explain that in the best way
Yeah.
that you can, then that's all you can do, isn't it? You know, it's
I
up to
think
them
that's the
then how
best.
they take that and what they do with that, you know.
I think that's the best advice you can give a child, to say, you know what, mommy made a mistake, you know. I was
Mm.
just, you know, giving that explanation, giving the understanding. And that
Mhm.
goes with again, raising your children is raising yourself with other people. When you have
Absolutely.
stepped out of line, that you can humbly say to yourself, get out of your way and apologize, because it wasn't what it, you know, because we all know the right
Absolutely.
thing, and our children also know the right thing.
Mhm.
But you've got to let them learn the lesson. And that's what
Yeah.
I feel in my own life. You have to learn the lesson. And that
Yeah.
lesson is to come within and say, you know what, get over yourself, you know,
Yeah.
get
That's
over.
where my daughter and I are at the moment. That's what we're
Yeah, it's
exactly looking
huge.
horns over, and it's like, look, I'm your mum, I love you, I'll always be there, but I
Yeah,
ain't stroking your ego. You know what I mean? I ain't stroking your ego for you. You know, you already know. And if you want to go out there and do those things and say those things, then I'm afraid you're going to have to suffer the consequences, because what kind of parent would I be if I enabled that? You know, I've seen so many people that have done that and have got, you know, trouble now. So it's like, you know, I think they think because you're a parent, you won't do it. And it's like, I bloody well will, you know, because that's how I was taught. I remember stealing something years ago, right, when I was a wee slip of a girl, many moons ago. And my brother and I were out for a walk with my granddad, and he took us in our local post office at the time, and they had like a little sweet counter and stuff. And we saw these books. I think I was about 10 or something. And we saw these books, and we decided we were going to 5-finger discount one each, you know. And we did. We took them. Anyway, gets home with these books. My mum, being a Hawkeye, is like, oh, where'd you get them from? Oh, Grandad bought them for us. Oh, no. She got on the phone, asked my granddad. My granddad's like, no, didn't buy them any books. So what does she do? She basically takes my brother and I to the post office with the books and made us fess up to what we did. I mean, I can't speak for my brother, but I certainly never stole ever again. Do you know what I mean? And I don't hate her for doing that. I might not have liked it at the time, but it was effective. Do you know what I mean? It was like I never stole anything again. You know, it was me. I mean, as it happened, the chap behind the counter was brilliant about it. But I learned a very valuable lesson, that I don't steal, because if I steal, there's going to be trouble. You know, I'm going to be in trouble. And that can be applied to anything. And that's where I'm at with my daughter now. It's like she's not a bad girl, but her views, and she's of a generation where they're woke, shall we say, and they've been taught a certain way in school, and they're her beliefs, and that's fine. But don't enforce that. Don't enforce your will, you know? It's about respecting people, and you know, we've all got different opinions. It doesn't make you a bad person just because you don't see eye to eye. Or, you know, I wanted to be one of those parents. It was like, if you've done something wrong, you've got to own it. And she knows that, you know, so what she does with that thereafter is on her. You know what I mean? It's out of my hands, you know. And she can't think that, well, when she's done something that she shouldn't, that I'm going to be okay with that. It's like, well, you know what you're doing, Chuck, and I'm sorry, but no, not acceptable. You've got to go. You know, it goes where it goes, basically. So yeah, I never forgot that story. It was And that was back before bloody mobile phones and stuff, back in the 70s, you know what I mean? So, you know, my mum was able to get in touch with my granddad and say, yeah, did you buy Tina and Graham these books? No, Barbara, no, I didn't. Well, that was it. Off we went. I was like, oh, I was bricking it. I was absolutely bricking it. Like, oh, busted.
Yeah, that's perfect.
But I never did it again. So, you know, and that's what it's like, well, same with Avril now, my daughter, it's like, well, if you're going to behave reckless and do stupid things, I can understand if you're feeling angry and all those things. I'm not taking that away. But you knew what you were doing. And I don't support that. Just because I'm your mum, it doesn't mean I have to turn a blind eye to everything. You know what I mean? So we're locking horns because of that at the moment. And it's like, well, so be it, you know. Love the bones off the girl, absolutely. But it's like, nah, not on my watch. So yeah, it was bloody easier when they were kids.
You know, the study they said was a child, the kid get 500 don'ts or no's in a day.
Wow.
Yep.
Compared to 5 yeses or supports, you know. And you know, like you just using that example, it's like, you know, we're told to not do all these things, but as a child, we don't know until we experience it.
Absolutely.
It
Agree.
is the only way we learn it. Yeah,
Pushing boundaries, isn't it? Absolutely.
It is.
Absolutely.
You know? And some of us enjoy it.
Oh yeah, my brother certainly did.
Some of us, you know, you put a, as Allison tells me, you break barriers. Not my boundaries, but barriers. And it's people put barriers around us.
Well, yeah, and then we learn to create our own.
Our boundaries.
Our own limits. We limit ourselves.
That's right.
We assume that's right.
You're on it there, guys. And that's it. I had the choice, didn't I, to learn or not? You know, pursue, carry on, or learn, you know. So really it is, you know, you're trying to instill to the best of your ability. You're free to be, but you've got to be aware as well that the certain actions are, you know, come with consequences.
To all varying degrees. And they're not the same for everyone. You know, not in a, but nor are the outcomes, you know. It's like you can't.
And that's where I agree with something. I think it was you, Nikki, that said earlier about we can learn from them too, because by instilling certain things or maybe coming up against certain scenarios or situations and sort of trying to problem solve and figure it out, you know, you kind of, for me, I'm kind of understanding that I'm having that reality check that she is a very different generation to me as well. And in a way, I can learn things from her just the same as she can learn things from me. But obviously, it's the dynamics of the parent thing, in it. It's like they don't want to listen to what you know. They'll listen to. She'll have someone around like an aunt or an uncle or something that'll say something exactly the same as what I've said, but she'll take it from them and not me. But at the same time, I'm learning from her because I can understand or see. I like to try and put myself in other people's shoes. That's what I like to try and do. And you know, the way that they've been taught today is very different to what we had growing up, and the world is a very different place, and you know, there's a lot more pressure. And I'm not taking away from any of us, but I personally wouldn't want to be a child growing up today, that's for sure. They've got a very hard job ahead of them. But you know what, I think they've got it. It's just a little tweak here and there, a little nudge, and I think they've got it, you know.
Hey, there was a lot of times I was really glad my kids didn't listen to me,
Yeah, exactly.
quite frankly.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're amazing in their own right. I think you can learn so much yourself and from them. You know, as I say, I've only got the one child. I can't, you know, between us we've got 2 girls, and there are our girls. It don't matter how bloody old they get, does it? Like I said, my fella's daughter's married now and set up her own life, and she's, you know, but they're still your kids, aren't they? They're still your kids. And I never thought, as I say, I'd say that, I'd be like, oh, she's gone now, she's left the coop. But it's like, oh, she's still my baby. Madness.
I like what you said, Craig. I like what you said there. Because if I look back and it comes up for me, the choices I'm making now, I'm glad that I didn't follow through with the fears and the doubts and the anxiety, the anxiousness. Yeah. That my parents I could have adopted. Because it was definitely in my atmosphere. It was definitely in my environment. And also to stop me from exploring and traveling and, you know, yeah, making choices that I knew that I had to make for myself, even if I was doomed to go to hell, because that was a daily thing that was told to me. You're going to go to hell. Yeah. So for that reason, even today, as I speak, as an adult and going through life, I thank God that I can know in my heart what I need to do for me, even regardless of the circumstances, even when it's literally, if you do this, this is the end of the road for you. This is what's going to happen. And I've always had to do it, knowing, regardless of the circumstances, I got to do it. I've got to do it, even if I do it scared. And it's not surprising where I am today, because those choices and everything that I had as a gut feeling, as Pascal clearly demonstrated, that we all have, and that is installed in every single soul.
Yeah, all of my kids have that naturally. Like, they're all gutsy, especially my daughters. Holy crap.
Oh yeah, the girls. Oh
yeah.
yeah, I'm with you there. Feisty little.
Both of my
daughters.
were world travelers, like before they barely left high school, and they were already traveling the world. You know, and I never taught them that, although that's kind of my nature, to be bold and gutsy, but I never taught them that on purpose. Just showed up.
And that's what we're saying about, you know, learning from them. It's amazing what they bring to us.
Yeah.
You know, when you step back and look at who they are, and like, yeah, exactly. Avril's the same. It's like, well, you didn't get that from me. You didn't get that from your dad. So where's that come from? But wow, amazing.
Yeah.
And there's one thing that she is not a pushover. I used to be. I was the biggest doormat up until fairly recent. She's certainly not that. She's not backward in coming forward. She's not afraid of. I mean, I'll use my gob when I need to, but I have to really get hit a few times before I'll stand up. I'm not shy of confrontation, but with Avril, she's proper, like, right on it. Right, right away. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's amazing. And even we've said to her, do you know what? You'd make a bloody good solicitor or politician, you know what I mean? She's proper like on it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, you're speaking about true nature too. And, you know, I don't know if you've heard this or not, Tina, but I speak about the 3 Gs that you're born with: your gifts, your genius, and your greatness.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
the realization that I have from that is that nature has a way of equipping these children to be the leaders of tomorrow.
Yeah.
And
That's
they're
why I nurtured.
already prepared to do that. They have
Yeah.
all the tools they need to lead the world when they walk out of the womb, you know.
You've put that very well. I think that's what I was reaching for. It's like she just has that knowing. They just have
Yeah.
that knowing, and it's just us to nurture and nature that, you know, nudge that. Other than that, there's not much else we can do. You know, they may, what was the saying? They may belong to us, but they're not. What is it? They're not. They may be from us, but they don't belong to us. Or some. I've heard a saying somewhere, and it was very, very apt. They may be born of us, but they don't belong to us. I think that's the saying. I'd have to check it out.
Yeah.
But it resonates because it's like, you know, yes, we're parents, but these are very different souls. These, you know, we just do what we can, and the rest will show. You know, they've, like you said, I'm starting to see that flourish now, and I'm sure you guys as parents are seeing a very similar thing. They definitely know what they need to do. They just need us to switch them on. That's all. That's all we can do, you know.
So do we realize that for ourselves too?
Exactly.
That we're, you know, that each one of us is a gift to humanity.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
And that's
we belong to humanity.
Us. Yeah.
That's the only real ownership that's here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
The realization to know that people only know what they know at the time, and they're giving their best. And when you can be in that moment of just seeing it and allowing it and embracing it and saying, what next? And to me, that's opened a huge door.
Yeah.
Oh, it's opened massive, because now I'm coming into the unknown.
Yeah.
It's like
being fluid. Yeah.
Just show me what I need to know here to know. Yeah. In this moment. Because there's nothing I can do what I did waking up this morning or last night or a week, because in every moment we're changing. So this is the beauty of evolving and just learning in this now moment. What can we do?
And I think it's okay
because it's never
too.
Yeah, it's never too late. It's never too late. It's never too late.
Hello, Allie.
Hey, Ellie.
Oh my. Hi, Ellie.
Well, hello guys. I've just realised I've just been informed of the time zone change in the US.
I didn't realise either, Chuck.
Yeah.
No worries. I wanted you to know, just a stupid time change. So glad you're here.
As ours this Sunday, Ali. Do we put the clocks forward? Is it this weekend?
I'm in Western Australia. We don't have time changes.
Oh, beg your pardon. I thought you were from our neck of the woods.
Oh well, a bit.
She sounds like it, doesn't she?
I'm coming to visit you, Ali, Western Australia.
Yeah, me too.
Girl. I'm coming. No, seriously, I'm coming to Western Australia. My sister lives there, and I got an event coming, and I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. It's happening in this moment. So this is so magical, because I'm ready to give you that call and say, honey, I'm just up the road.
Oh my God, I cannot wait.
Let's have a coffee.
Oh my God, Nikki, I'm so excited.
Let's have a coffee. and a muffin. And a muffin.
Muffin.
Wait.
God, exciting. Exciting.
Oh, well, just me then. Just me then.
But then we'll be on the same time again. Yes, I think there's a week between the time changes.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But yeah.
Wonderful.
I forget, because it's crazy, really, the way of the internet. That I still forget that I'm speaking to people globally. It's
Around the
bizarre. I
world.
can't get my head around it
I
because
know.
you all feel like you're just
know.
down the road.
God, I wish yous were. Oh my God.
Yeah, there's been legislation on the table for, I think it's almost 4 years now, about not having time changes at all.
Yeah.
I don't know why
the
they're
old
still kind of
ways.
pissing around with that, but
Oh, I know.
Oh, we voted for it apparently before I immigrated here, and the Western Australian people decided they didn't want it. The rest of Australia all have it, which is fucked because Sydney's like 4 hours in front of me.
Yeah.
3. You know what I mean? Sydney, it's just fucked. But anyway, that's what it is. You just got to go with it.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that F's and Jeffs.
I'm not so bad. I've got that thing in my phone so that I've got like each state, some of the states in America. So I know when Arizona is and I know when California's in. And
yeah, I did that too.
Oh, that's a smart thing to do.
Yeah, it's a really cool thing. It's rubbish yous are so far behind us in England, man. 8 hours back, man. So it'll be good. I like half. It's so much. I know it's only that an hour, but it makes so much difference to us over here.
Yeah.
Really grateful for when your clocks go back.
Oh.
So how's Allie? Does Allie have a word for us today?
No, I was thinking I've had so many words. I can't actually think of one right now.
How about Tina? Tina, do you have a word for today, for your day? Here, let's recap. So, the 4 of us went through the 4 true choices.
Oh, I missed that. No way.
Yeah. So we sat in the silence as each of us brought one in. And it was a choose a life I love, health and vitality, true nature and purpose, and new creating new. It's the powerful creator. So those 4 we worked together, broke through as we prepare to scatter. And what came out of that for me was wholeness, as I was surrounded by rain, as the rain is washing and cleaning, providing for new. And it was in the patience of silence. Nikki had possibilities to choose and allow all new wonder and gratefulness. Pascal was innocence, childlike innocence, which is connection stronger with the sponges around us.
I read that. I love that.
And Craig was creating new as wide open.
I've got my word.
It usually happens that way. You step into the vortex. Intention.
I mean, intention.
Did you say intention?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
It is our
what came to
powerful
mind
creation.
for me was abundance. That's the only word I can think of. That in keeping with what you guys have all shared, that was
yes.
As we were talking, what came up?
Nice.
that's it. I came on and you were talking about creation. You were talking about the kids of the future, and I was just so excited because it's just, I look at my kids and I just, I do. I look at them and I just know that they're the most magnificent creators. My little boy's 3, so he's still running in that super conscious mind, as Craig reminded me the other night. And I'm just loving it. Now I've come to the awareness of that. Love it. And he is thriving. Like, he holds a room. He's only 3. And he's just got this aura about him wherever he goes. Makes friends. We went to the park and had a sausage sizzle tonight. And we've lived here 6 years and we've never done that. We went down with our in-laws a couple of weeks ago, and it was the first time we'd done it. So tonight we decided to go down as a family, take the football and have a sausage sizzle and watch the sunset. It was fucking amazing. And Scott was like, I want to go and play with them, Mummy. And it just happened. And we walked into the park and the little girl said, "Hi, boy." And I said, "Tell him your name." And he says, "I'm Scott." And the boys on the swing said, "Do you want to come play?" And Scott went, "Sure." And I was just totally in awe because he'd set that intention to do that. And they made the first, so it was really cool to watch.
Oh, wow. That's big.
Yeah. And
They came to him.
Yeah. But after he'd set that intention to go and play with them kids, and then he'd done that a second time, because them kids, we played with them for a little while. It was beautiful family, beautiful kids. And then there was a Maori family having a barbecue in the one next to us, and they were having a play. There was like 10 kids. And again, he said after he'd finished his dinner that he wanted to go and play with them. And I was like, yeah. And he did. He went and played football with them all. And it was just so fun to watch, you know? If we were more like that as adults, we'd get on a lot better, you know?
Absolutely. And that's what they're reminding us of as well.
Yeah, being friendly to people.
We're
and
the generation where that was still okay. It's just, I don't know what's happened.
I think this is what we're doing right here, right now. We're playing in the sandbox together.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what's the joy. That's the joy of being innocent.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. It's really amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should let our inner kids play then, if that's the case, because that maybe is what needs nurturing within each of us, is that you forget, I think, even as a parent or an adult for that matter, you have an inner child that needs that nurture too.
Yeah.
And needs to play and express, and it's very oppressed these days, and I think that's very sad. Yeah. I think people, as a rule of thumb, should have the freedom to express who they are and what they represent, without labels, without boxes, without any of those things. Just be who you want to be, as long as you're not harming anyone and you're not hurting anyone. Just be who you want to be and sod all the rest of it. You know what I mean? It's irrelevant. And I think that's the fight today, isn't it? It's just trying to hold on to that and say, no, it's not about labels. It's not about this, not about that. Just be who you are. Just be a decent human being. That's it. It's that simple.
Yeah, that's exactly that.
That's the core wound.
Yes.
Actually, is that your heart it was built to express itself.
Yes.
Designed to do that. And so many things happen to you that keep that from happening.
Yeah, and that's the fight.
Our hearts are suppressed, or they're punished, or the expression is, the expression is stifled in some way or another, or and so it ends up getting bottled up in your heart, and then and it can't complete itself, and it seriously needs to.
And that's why it was important for me to share with my daughter. It's great that you have your view and your opinion and whatever, but you cannot enforce that on others, because you're taking away their rights to be who they want to be. It's okay to disagree with people. It's okay.
Amen.
It's not an issue like it's being made out to be.
Everybody's telling everybody face to face their problems and what went wrong and what they should do, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? You turn around and go back to back and just say to the person, I've got your back.
Exactly. That's
I
what
got
we
your
should
back.
all be doing.
I got your back. That's all that needs. You don't need to be face to face telling everybody everything that's coming out of the
Yes.
closet. You just need to turn around, put your back against that person and say, have you got my back? That's it.
Yes. That's it.
Because back in the day, how we all used to learn was to play and learn from our adults, from our elders, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
But because of this, as Craig explained, comes with all the restrictions of society, and
Yeah.
it's taking away the innocence. It's
Yes.
taking away the true core of your spirit
Mm-hmm.
that was here to just come into this now moment and experience it right for who and where you need to be.
That's right. I mean, I always try to install in my child that, look, you know, at the end of the day, there's good and bad in everybody, you know, everyone. And as long as you try and be the best person that you can be and try not to harm none, it doesn't matter what colour, creed, sexual, who or what. There's knobheads in all of us. Do you know what I mean? There's good and bad in everybody.
We're all
That's how I
powerful.
see it.
We're all
It doesn't
powerful.
matter just because, you
We're
know,
all
someone should get
powerful.
off because, or someone should get away with because. It's like, no, if you have done damage or hurt somebody, whoever you are, you have to face those consequences, end of, not use what you have to get away with. You know, it's like you said, it's being free to be, as long as you're not enforcing that or encroaching on anybody else with it, you're good with me. You know what I mean? Good with me. I'll be with
Can I
you.
stop us a moment? Can I stop us a
I don't
moment
talk
and
to anyone. I
remind
don't
us?
care who they are. Yeah, you know, I don't care the colour of your skin, don't care your sexuality, don't care how you want to dress. I do not care. I will talk to anybody. But if you're going to be an knobhead with me, I'm going to be a knobhead right back. And you're not going to hide behind A, B, C, D because you want to get away with being a knobhead. We're all free to be, like you said about, like Alice shared about her son in the park, you know, it's there. We go freely to go and be friends with anybody that we choose, you know. It's not, them labels are not there, thus the innocence. Them labels are not there. It's just, oh, I quite like you, I'm going to go and see what you're all about. Do you know what I mean? It's primeval. It's not, you know, we're not to fit in boxes. We're not here to fit in boxes. We're here just to be and celebrate who we are in all our glory, you know. And I agree. I think you can definitely learn that from children today, and it is that it's just reminding them that it's not, you know, about how society is trying to dictate it to them. It's like, look, just be the best version of you and be the best person that you can to, you know, treat people the way you want to be treated. It's that simple. It doesn't matter who you are, what you believe, what you represent, you know, just it's that simple, you know. It's not complicated. It's not, it's being made complicated on purpose, and we all know why. But it comes down to that root, doesn't it? That, like you said, we're all born innocent, and it's just remembering who we are. And, you know,
I'm going to bring something up. Yeah, Tina, I'm going to bring something up. Craig wanted to say something, so I want Craig to say what he wanted to say. But after that, I just want to remind what Chris mentioned in a Q&A that's very vital, very important, what we're talking about now. Because as he says, he was labeled as AHD and ABC, as you want to call it, and not sitting quietly and being asked to leave school, and, you know,
I was a chatterbox, always in trouble for chatting, and not concentrating.
As we get to the point of actually labeling, as we just getting to the point of knowing that you're not broken. This is important, that everybody, the premise is that you're not broken, no one's broken. And that we're all powerful. And if you look at each other, regardless of what gender, regardless of background, if we look at each other, knowing, as Craig explained, the 3 most potential things that we can look at as our genius, our greatness, and the third is,
I can't
the
remember.
third,
Genius, the
Craig?
greatness, and Craig.
Gifts.
Craig,
And the
gifts.
Gifts.
And
How did we
now-
forget that one?
Please say what you were going to say, because it's very important that you announce that you voice
Yeah,
this out.
Amen
yeah,
to that,
I'm-
Nikki, by the way. Amen to that.
Amen, because this is getting to the shortcuts. You know, we don't have to bullshit anymore. We don't have to turn it in a long freaking give our statements of what this and A, B, and C. We get straight to the point. We are now looking at each other's greatness, gifts.
Yay!
Yeah, but that's what we tend to do. I mean, I was just observing the conversation over the last minute or two, and the reason I wanted to stop it is because we were getting into fine details about stuff, and quite frankly, that's not very productive. Because the real gift of this space, to me anyway, and following on what I was saying about that core wound, about your heart not being able to express itself, the real gift of having a group of people like this and creating a space like this, is that we're inviting each other's hearts to express themselves. And to me, that's the most valuable thing about meeting like this. And what kind of amuses me, actually, is we kind of get into that space, but we keep drifting out of it. And I just want to bring everybody's awareness to that. Like, sharing lessons we've learned is great and all that kind of stuff, but that's not really what your heart wants to say.
I like it. That's cool.
Earlier in this call, we had a lot of moments of silence where concepts and ideas and creations were developing in the dark, so to speak, in that empty silence, and we were playing off each other, and we were drawing out each other's genius, just by a few words here and there, just by yeah. So that in my heart, that bloomed into this, and so I spoke those words.
But I, for one,
then
will
we were
apologize
silent
for
for a
coming in
while, and then
halfway.
and then we were silent for a while, and then those words bloomed into somebody else's heart, and then they spoke it.
Mm.
And that's so valuable, that's so productive, that's so true nature for us.
Love it.
I want to be very protective of that space with everybody.
I think we'd be forgiven being the latecomers, Ali and I, and not realising from the beginning what we missed. So I apologise for that.
No, but I just wanted to, I just want us to be be aware of the patterns that we fall back into. And that's, and that's okay. I mean, we're learning, we're practicing,
That's it.
You know what I mean?
Beautiful. So good.
Beautiful.
Craig.
Yeah.
Beautiful,
I don't
Craig.
want to be teaching
Spot on.
anybody, because that's not the point.
No,
I think
this
that's
is
it. Though,
perfect.
Sorry.
And it's not a reprimand. It's just okay.
No,
When you-
Craig, this is perfect. This is so vitally important. I just want to back you up on this. It's so powerful, and I just knew what you were going to say was so incredibly heart-centered in knowing that this is what it is. And I can just say thank you for that voicing out. It's just amazing.
I hear your heart.
So I'm so thankful for that. It's
Well,
just wow.
yeah.
Thank you.
I think when you come in on a half a conversation though, and you don't know what's happened before you jump in, you know, and then you've got a different right, is that where we're at, you know, and you're following that or flowing with that.
I just want to say that there's no perfect way to do something. It's just where you
there,
are.
no, there isn't.
And what's so beautiful, what I've practiced and what I'm experiencing and what's coming up for me, you know, it doesn't matter. It is about just going into your heart, and that's what made me to be still and be just still. You don't need words. Sometimes words is not important.
But if
and just
you're
like
coming
right
in
now,
halfway,
just like now, as I'm explaining, that it's just a matter of opening up your heart, and that was the word of the day: open wide. Just open up and just
yeah.
It's
But
not
if
to
you're
get the
coming in
answers.
halfway on that, and you don't know that you've had an exercise prior to coming in as late as I did, how would I know that?
Yeah,
But it's
you don't need to know
about children. I didn't know you were talking about space or heart centers and things like that. You know, when you come in and you start hearing a certain conversation and you think, right, okay, is that what this is? But now that you've explained that, I understand that. But when you're coming in halfway, I wasn't expected to know that.
No, of course not. Of course not.
Yeah,
and that's
of
why.
course
That's
now
why I
that
sat
you've
back
said
and
that,
observed it.
yes, it makes perfect sense. But if you're coming in halfway and you're like, right, what we're discussing today, I didn't know you'd done like an exercise prior and you were holding space and things like that. I mean, I came in last week. I don't really know what your group's about. I'm still learning. I'm still feeling where I fit, or if I do fit, or if this, you know, what is this about? What do we do here? Am I doing it right? Is it wrong? I don't know.
There's too many rules. There's too many rules.
In my
Following
mind,
too many rules.
in my
there's too many
mind,
rules. Nah,
in my
it's not
mind,
about
I'm
that.
thinking
Yeah,
it's
too
like
much
an
rules.
open forum. I'm not sure. I didn't know whether there was like a set rule or
There's no rules.
you know, if I'm aware of that, then I'm okay with that. But I'm just kind of feeling my way around. I don't know whether what I'm bringing is right or wrong, or, you know, if I've no idea, and I've lost my train of thought now. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Tina, I'm just giving you a big energy hug right now.
Right. Well, on that
And
note,
you don't have to.
I'm
You don't have
going.
to understand. You don't have to understand what I said.
No, I know. I'm just confused now. I'm just confused right in this moment.
Okay.
Because I don't know what's expected of anybody.
Well,
it's like, well, what is this then? What is
nothing? I just wanna hear what your heart
I'm
has
only
to say.
here because of Joe felt that it could be something of benefit.
Tina,
I'm going.
We just want to hear what your heart has to say. That's it.
I really wish that I had been on for the beginning of the session. So we're at 8 o'clock now, not 9 o'clock my time.
That's right. I believe that would work for you, Allie. Just an hour earlier or later or whatever. I don't know. Hour.
Yeah.
I went forward, so whatever that means.
Yours went forward.
Yeah.
Yep.
That sounded like a very powerful session you started off with, guys.
Well, I'll share it. We'll put it in the chat so that that it's there. People can see it and go through it and see it and work through it. So look, those boundaries do have to be established, and you can see what happens when we bring them up. Think, practice, practice. Nothing in it, nothing more than that. It's just you get to practice boundaries. That means that I don't have to always do it. So thank you.
Ali, your word was so profound, intentions.
I've really
And
needed
when-
it this last week, Nikki.
Yeah, and coming into this now moment with having that word was perfect. It was perfect because the intentions of what we're doing and why we're doing something is for the better for the other person. And that's
Yeah.
got nothing to do with rules and regulations, but it's got to do with the standard of knowing there's a fine line to say, a yes is a yes and a no is a no, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of people, like I said, you don't have to always agree. It takes great maturity. It takes maturity to really go and get out of your way and say it's nothing personal. And this is I call it my inner circle, and it's my practice too. And it's not I've got to do it right, or am I saying something, or it's just a wonderful way of growth. And I want to grow. So if you want to grow, you grow where you get fed, right? Right?
Yeah.
Where you get
Yeah.
fed. And that's what it is. It's something that I can embrace it all now. I can say thank you.
Yep, I do.
Just thank you.
Just being grateful. When the physical world gets tough and you think, oh my God, how am I going to pull this out my arse? You got to think to yourself, everything's working out. Everything will be all right. And it always is. We just put so much pressure on ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. We make it worse.
Oh man, I put so much pressure on myself this week on the run up to Amy's birthday, and I realised before it was even her birthday, I'd done it to myself. I was like, what the hell?
Oh, remember your presentation last week?
Oh man,
I mean, how much of it you got your girdle in a knot before that?
You were funny. You were so funny because you're like, I can't remember the words you used, but it was something like, "Do you actually need PowerPoints?" Then you called them something else. And you said,
I forget what it was.
Yeah, you said just read over your notes and just go with your heart, what your heart says, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Which is exactly what we're doing here.
Yeah, and
I
get it.
We're practicing our heart's expression in a place where it's totally safe to do so.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can't put you put any kind of a condition on that, and it destroys it.
It does. And it's the awareness of that. And that's how my soul loves these calls. My soul, you've no idea. Well, you do, because you're here. You feel the energy.
It's co-creating, it's coming together and experiencing other people's experiences. And when you get to listen, really listen, then it's inevitable to know that the three things that are going to come up is pain, uncertainty, and work. And when you can embrace the pain, knowing that it's nothing that needs to just be for what it is, and you can say, okay, and the uncertainty of not knowing and feeling that there is conditions, or you need to follow through with certain things, that doing it right, for example. And then the work, it takes work. This is work. they say you don't need to work, but you do. It does take work. As long as
Yeah.
you're in this body, it takes work. And are you
Yeah.
willing to work? Everybody wants everything, but they're not willing to work for it.
That's it.
Yeah,
that-
you know,
yeah.
that's what, and that's the 3 permits of just looking at it.
And I think Chris Duncan's meditation on that really, really gets you into that orientation and really thinking about that. Like that really helped me.
Which one is that?
The one where he takes you and he takes you on a journey with money,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
And your representations and stuff like that. Like that was such a big thing for me, because I don't know. I didn't know what a relationship with money was until Chris Duncan showed you what the structure of it and how it flows. And then you listen to Bob Proctor, he says the same thing, you know? It's like you have to give something. How is it? He says, I can't remember, but it's like you have, the more you give, the more you receive, basically. And what is it you're willing to give? Really feeling into that of who you are, your true nature and purpose, what your true nature and purpose is. What are you giving to the world? Because if you can find that and it be your true nature and purpose and really be it, and you can financially sustain that, that is living your true nature and purpose and money flowing to you. Do you think?
Well, that's what frequency is. Frequency is where you're frequently looking at what you're looking at. Frequency, looking at what you're looking at constantly, yeah? And money is a relationship that roots down to the energy of your parents, the relationship that you had with your parents. It goes right down to that absolute. And when you go down to all that and you unpack it, you can actually say what energy is actually showing up for you. It's either your father or your mother. And that's the relation, because money is actually a blessing. It's not a sin.
Of course, it's a blessing.
It's not greedy. It's not just for the rich. Money is a blessing. Money is a measurement. It's adding value to somebody's life. And right here, right now, I think this is where richness is, right here, because adding value.
That's the one.
You're adding value. You actually can check it in and say, money return here, baby. Because this is, So,
value.
Yeah, value.
That was my word the last time I was on.
Oh,
and
wow, there you go.
Your word was courageous. And I tell you, I took that word, 2 days in a row, I took that word in with me. Because it's just not a word that I would have thought of. And it really, really resonated with me. And I felt like I needed it. I needed to be strong. You know?
And I just feel that what's coming up for myself, that what's coming up for me now is that we can learn from each other so much when we really receive it, in knowing that when I always want to know to do at that time the right thing, or to make a kind of impression, to belong somewhere. It's so wonderful that I can actually ask, I am the teacher, I can ask myself the question. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when you're confused about something that you feel, oh, I don't know, I'm not feeling comfortable, it is uncomfortable, you can go into your heart. And just like Pascal, he went into his heart and he wasn't comfortable. And that's where you get the answers, where you can be your own teacher. You can literally ask the question and the answer, it will be answered.
Yeah.
So being the student and the teacher at the same time is a balance.
Yes. I read that somewhere. I've read that in a book somewhere.
I find that so intriguing and so inviting now.
Yeah. Balance. It's the balance of nature. Everything's got a balance. It's amazing. It's finding the balance.
Everything has a harmony.
Yeah, everything has a harmony.
Love
There's
that.
a harmony to it. A harmony. Balance is 2 things.
Okay.
Harmony is all things.
Love it.
I like that. Harmony is all things.
Harmony's all
things.
I
love that. Yeah. Harmony.
A life is more than just 2 things.
Oh, Yes.
We do more than balance. We create a harmony, a symphony, playing together all aspects,
Oh, I
all
love
at
that.
once. Well,
Mm.
it's another level. It's a step up. It's a shortcut. And so what we experienced today was resistance,
Amen. That's right.
a wobble,
A
an
wobble.
obvious action, a retreat, a pull back,
Yeah.
a hide,
Mm.
just to acknowledge and observe that in a
Mm.
space that we produce that's equal
Totally.
space. Equal for what? Genius, greatness, and gifts.
Greatness and gifts. Yes, genius. Yeah.
Greatness and gifts.
Greatness and gifts.
Mhm.
See,
And how do
Ellie,
you
we
know
got
you're
it.
doing that?
We got it. We got it.
We got it. We got it, Ellie.
We have.
We just
And
have
on
to
that
And
go
how-
note, I'm gonna head to bed, guys.
Bye,
Good
Alan.
night.
Yes, and that's the third one. What is always next? Yes,
Eh.
and there's always next. So with that, we gathered. Thank you. We broke through, and now we scatter. Till next time.
Till next time.
I love it. Love it.
It's like a, oh my God, it's fabulous. Yeah.
Good night.
Sleep
Stay in your
well.
heart,
Day,
everyone.
guys.
Stay
Have a
in your
great
hearts.
day.
Sleep well.
I got a few more minutes, but not much.
Me too. I have to also head out for I've got maybe 4 or 5 minutes.
That's about what I'm sitting with. But
Yeah. Yeah, this is good.
anything to close. Let's do that. Anything to close or anything to be complete here.
Just be aware of our patterns that we use to cover.
Oh man. Oh man. Yeah,
Oh
it's
God.
Yeah.
And
It
when we
is.
go, yeah. When you, yeah.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Nikki.
I just think it's a lovely practice to know when you're not in your heart.
Yeah, it's a brand new awareness.
It's a whole new experience.
why-
It's
yeah,
a
that's
whole
why
new
it's so-
experience.
It's so easy to slip out of it.
Yeah.
Without
we
realizing
do,
we're doing
And
it.
we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I may interrupt more often. Let's put it that way.
Well, it's the harmony of setting the tone,
Well,
it's
yeah.
just setting
yeah.
the tone and that we can all flow together. And it's a beautiful thing to be there, because that's where I really feel when you get off a call that it's almost like renewing the mind and the body and the soul, and you can take the obvious action. And I think that's what you want to be in. Just
Yeah,
being in that,
well, we have
in
a
the flow
tendency
of
to
action.
kick information around instead of actually
There's it.
expressing our hearts.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, well, I learned this. Well, I learned this. Well, I know this. Okay, well, yeah. This is the way it is. And you go like, some of my hardest pardon.
It's the same when we come together face to face, telling each other our problems. Not that it's a problem to say what your problem is, but then to also say, don't get me into that and allow me just to know what you want. And that's what it basically was asked today, in knowing that we hear you, but what is most importantly is, what do you want out of this? Like, where do you want to go with this?
Mm-hmm.
Because we can talk till the cows come home, and I'm an absolute pure example of that. And when you can turn
I'm an
that,
expert at that too.
yeah, and if you can turn it around and say, wow, isn't that interesting? Where I'm just going off, on my little tantrum, and then I'm just come back.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful place to be when you're going off, and yeah, you just totally like lower the volume, get back into harmony, get back into center and ground yourself in your heart. And now speak from there. And that is a practice. It's a practice.
Yeah.
And I am beyond grateful for this. I honestly, I'm just going to say it like that.
Yeah.
There's my 5 minutes up.
Well, you recognize what you need to do. What I need to do to get back into the space is very different from what you need to do.
Yeah. So thank you.
Yeah.
Great opportunity. Great opportunity. Great opportunity.
Lessons. So break through lessons and scatter. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see
Thank
you
you.
next time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Till next
I'm
time.
just gonna say a few more things.
Pascal.
Yeah, I've been working hard and like listening, and I was just like back into the routine, I guess. Yeah, I just want to thank every one of you, like, to share your experience around parenting, guiding, all that, including Tina and Ali. Yeah, it's been really good, and Craig, please do interrupt conversation when you feel that it's needed.
Okay.
Because we're here to grow.
Yes.
Right? So it's really easy to stay in our pattern, and so not that like what Tina was saying wasn't powerful. Not what I'm saying at all. It's just like it's just so easy to diverge, right? So I just want to share something you might like that was kind of funny to me yesterday that happened with my son. So at birth, my wife had a little bit of complications, so they recommend to do skin to skin, but she couldn't. So they recommend to do skin to skin, and like Kai was just like, he was just there, and like I think he was just listening my heartbeat, right? So I was just like hugging him and stuff. So and and then my wife, like afterward, like she did skin to skin, and then he was looking for food, right? And and he got some food. And then yesterday, like I don't know, like he was crying a bit, so I was just like, oh, let's just do a little skin to skin. And then I was just on the bed, and then like it was crazy. Like I put him like around my belly button, and then he goes straight up, and then like all of a sudden he just turned like 90 degrees, and he goes for my nipple, right? And then like, but the thing, like I could like just like, oh no, you can't do that, right? But I'm like, oh, he needs to learn his lesson. So yeah, let's try it. Let's try
Awesome.
it if there's anything come out, right? And
Good
then like
you,
he's like, but
I'm
now
really
he
proud of
doesn't
you.
go for it, right? So
Yeah. Well, he found out your dad.
yeah, exactly.
Not mom.
So, but yeah, no, it was just it was my fun experience yesterday. So
yeah. But see, he gets nurture from you in different ways, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's really important, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now he knows the distinction between mom and dad, right?
Well, exactly. He knows what nurture is from mom and what nurture is from dad, and that they're different.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
Exactly. So
they're both really, really important.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
Good. So good. The skin to skin is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's brilliant. So keep doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I love, like, I think the second night, like, he couldn't sleep. And I probably spent like 4 hours on my back with him, and he slept on my chest.
Perfect.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Your heartbeat is different from his mom's.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so he can feel that. Right. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's super.
Yeah. So yeah, powerful session today.
You're making me want to be a dad again,
Yeah.
Oh my
Go for it.
I love babies. I've always loved babies.
Oh,
Yeah.
babies. But you have your babies. They're beautiful.
Yeah.
They will always be your babies. They're beautiful. I saw the photo of the three of them. My goodness.
Yeah, but that doesn't stop me from wanting more, Nikki.
Oh, I hear you. But you're gonna be fathering many. Trust me. You're gonna.
Well, yeah. Thank you for the reminder.
Yeah. Just be ready. I think you are. But yeah, this has been very enlightening. It's been one. And Pascal, so great to have you back. It's so great to see your name. You know.
Yeah, I'm so glad to be back. Really.
Oh my God, you will miss so much. And wow, it's just wonderful.
I mean, I know my schedule is going to be different, but like, I know
okay.
also that, while I'm working, I'll be with you guys. So
Yeah, man.
So that's
Beautiful.
for sure. So
Awesome.
I'm going to love everybody now.
Yeah, have a wonderful day, guys.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Cheers.
Okay,
Big love,
take
everybody.
care.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you, Greg. Just waiting. Usually live doesn't end when we end, so I let it go a little longer. So that's awesome.
Okay.
Have a great